Yes, people, welcome back to Albert J TV. Happy Saturday, people. England Lionesses 2, USA 1. Match review time, people. But before we get into it, let's smash the intro. Footballing community, you should know what to do by now. Like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to Albert J TV. A social media platform. Know what you're talking about. And what I mean by that is goals, ESR and Saka have done well. They've done okay. They've done well. Yes, people, welcome back to Albert J TV. Match review time on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Not too chilly, people. As I usually like to say, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll be honest with you, in terms of this match review, like I said, England Lionesses 2, the mighty USA 1. A packed Wembley Stadium yesterday night. Would have loved to have gone to the game, but at the time couldn't get a ticket. And on top of that, work commitments. So what can you do? But a game I was looking forward to. I have to be honest. Two heavyweights of world football in the women's game. USA ranked number 1, rightfully so, and England are ranked number 4, I believe, in the rankings, even after their fantastic win back in the summer, winning the Women's Euros. But people, when you do join the chat, drop a comment in, drop a question in. I'll be more than pleased to answer any questions and address any comments in the section. So yeah, people, this will go out on my audio later as well. So I will download it. And like I said, I never like to neglect my audio listeners, as I say. But yeah, what a game, man. What a game. Seriously, there's so much to talk about. And I'll be honest with you, it's a match review I was looking forward to doing. And I didn't actually get to see the game live because I was recording the match preview for Arsenal versus Liverpool. Big up Doug, by the way, for joining me. Massive Liverpool fan. Fantastic podcast. You haven't listened to that, people. It is out on the audio and it is available on, obviously, on YouTube as well. But yeah, so I didn't get to watch the match live, but I did record it because it's a game I didn't want to miss, and it's a game I definitely was looking forward to watching. I only sort of decided late evening, probably late evening, going to early hours of the morning, I was going to do a match review, but there was so much to talk about. And as a spectacle, just watching a football match, forget the fact it's women's or men's football. What a fantastic advert for not only the strength of the women's game in recent years, which the level has grown unimaginably, whether that be domestically and most definitely international football-wise anyway. It's been fantastic to meet her rise. People, if I do look away, it's only because I'm looking at my notes. But yeah, like I said, man, USA are back-to-back World Cup winners, winning it back in, obviously, in 2019. They beat England in the semi-final, and they beat the Netherlands side in the final. So Serena Wigman, as we know, the woman in Serena, we trust, people. Has done an amazing job, obviously, with the Dutch national team winning the last Euros, and then obviously winning the current Euros with this fantastic crop of English players that have been gracing our presence over the summer and the last few years, to be fair, as well. But yeah, you know what? USA are not world champions for no reason, because they wanted to come to Wembley yesterday. Let's be honest. I know it's seen as a friendly, but when you got two juggernauts as you do with the fast growing improvements of the England national team, and obviously the strength for the United States of America, they weren't coming over to England for no picnic, man. They wanted to stamp their authority and show who's boss. And it's almost like it was not a battle of egos, but it's, get one up on your sort of your main rivals for the World Cup, which I believe is in about 10 months' time, I believe. But before we delve into it, people, more, let me go to the chat box. I've got a comment in there. Here we go. Ray, my guy, man. What's happening, bruv? Yes, I hope my fellow Gunners England supporters are all well. Not bad, man. I don't know if you got to see the game yesterday, Ray. If you haven't, I would definitely recommend you go and rewatch it. I'm sure probably be on ITV Hub, I believe it will be. I mean, look at me doing advertising for ITV Hub. Madness, bro. Russ, how's it going, mate? Yeah, man. Listen, I'll be honest with you. In terms of the national side, I'd have to speak to Sophie Nicola from Hybrid Squad, man, because obviously she covers a lot of the living in America. She'll know a lot more in terms of the strength and depth for the US national team, and they're going through a transitional period where a lot of their experienced players are coming towards probably the latter stages or the end of their careers. A lot of young ladies coming through. They got some fantastic players coming through, man. You saw with Trinity Rodman, and you got Sophia Smith. I mean, listening to sort of Enia Luco and Karen Carney and Ian Wright yesterday in the studio, and I think Karen Carney said it in terms of Sophia Smith for the United States. She's got 23 caps and 10 goals. You know, and they sort of, she mentioned the words in terms of as good as, you know, Marta in her early stages for Brazil. And if anybody who's followed women's football knows who Marta is, that woman was a serious footballer. And Eni Luco said currently at the moment with Sophia Smith for the United States, she's the best player in the world at the moment, and that's high praise. Like I said, I don't know too much about her, but heard of obviously Rose Lavelle, and you got Horan in the middle, and you got Sullivan. Really, really good midfield players in there. But yeah, let me come to sort of some graphics. Let me see now. Let me see if I can find it. So yeah, team lineups. We've got it on screen, people. Audio listeners, I've got the team lineups of both England and USA. I'm going to start with the Americans quickly because I'm not overly familiar with all of their players, but I know Germer at the centre back has only got 8 caps. Another young and promising up and coming. Like I said, you've got Trinity Rodman, who's coughing early 20s. Sophia Smith must be early 20s as well. Megan Rapinoe, we all know about, majorly experience. I think she's 37 now, so she's played a lot of football. Still prominent in this USA side. And listen, they still got players to come back. I mean, even during the game yesterday, they brought on left back Crystal Dunn. I mean, if you're bringing on a player as a sub of that caliber, then you know you've got a serious team, man. So now it was good to see the Americans because obviously, like I said, in terms of the women's football that I cover, I follow a lot of the national side for England for a number of years, going way back. So with the American side, I need to do my homework and find out a bit more about these players. But this is the good thing about covering the women's game, particularly at international level, is unearthing gems and fantastic footballers. Like I said, doing the women's Euros, I knew about the likes of Bon Marti and Morso and Rolfo. Knew about the likes of Oberdorf of Germany and Cascarino of France. There's some serious players out there. And obviously, we've got our own Lauren Hemp for England. But sort of coming to the England side, there were a couple of changes, obviously, because we knew that Leslie Russo, as Wright calls her Leslie, Leslie Russo was out for injury. And obviously our very own Leah Williamson was out due to injury as well. So Leah was going to be a big miss, and Russo was going to be a big miss in terms of height and physically imposing somebody up front to give the Americans a bit more food for thought, really. But no, I expected Alex Greenwood to come in. She can play left back, can play centre back. Rachel Daly kept her place at left back. We know about the quality of Lucy Bronze. Shout out to Mary Earps, because during the game, some fabulous distribution-wise. If anybody watched the England Women's Euros, and just even the game yesterday, I think there's only one part of that match yesterday where, in terms of distribution for Mary Earps, it went a bit pear-shaped. But if you watch her distribution, it is first class. Aaron Ramsdale and Jordan Pickford-esque, should I say. And obviously, you know, the fantastic midfield pivot of Georgia Stanway and Kira Walsh. People know my love for Kira Walsh. The woman is an absolute baller. I call her like the Pirlo of women's football. She's fantastic. And she obviously has left Man City in the WSL to go to Barcelona, which she's linking up with Lucy Bronze. Beth Mead, we know all about her talents in terms of goals, assists, Kirby obviously playing in the 10 role. Chloe Kelly starting on the I think Kelly started on the left, Chloe Kelly. And obviously to our surprise, well, to my surprise, let me speak for myself. Lauren Hemp starts up front. I didn't see that coming. And I think that's the fantastic thing about Serena Wiegman is yes, there's continuity in her first 11. You can see that if you watched all the games in the Euros, in terms of the starting 11s and the substitutes. And yesterday, we saw Lauren Hemp up front. I didn't see that coming. I think many people thought, in terms of pundits and people probably at the game, thought, okay, no Leslie Russo, Ellen White is retired. I think Beth Mead might get the go up front. That's what I thought, playing in the more central role. But no, Serena Wiegman went with Lauren Hemp, and she gave a brief interview before the game saying she'd done well in training and she's impressed with what she saw of her playing in that position. But yeah, guys, listen, that first, I tell you what, man, as I mentioned it sort of at the start of the stream, if you wanted an advert for football, two teams going toe to toe, that first sort of 5-10 minutes, particularly the first 5 minutes, both teams were on it. Maybe it was the occasion, maybe it was both teams looking at each other thinking, you know what, we want to get on the front foot. We want to show who's dominant. We want to show that, as England's case, we're the European champions. For the case of USA, we are the world champions. We need to rubber stamp our mark. But what an opening 5 minutes. It was end to end. USA, I know people talk about pressing. When it's done well, you saw with the USA during periods of that game, first half, second half, particularly in the first half, they didn't let England breathe. Absolutely not. But to be fair to England, they were very, very, and it's one word I would use, particularly with England Lionesses, they were brave, man, throughout the entire match. Like I said, USA pressing really well, in a lot of in England's sort of 18-yard box. And there were a few dicey moments, but England kept at it with the likes of Millie Bright and Gallix Greenwood and Earps with a very good distribution. Lucy Bronze, who we know is super dependable and defensively gives England so much going forward. And obviously Rachel Daly, very important that she plays at left back, because one thing with Rachel Daly, although she can play up front, and there was rumours that she might actually get the nod yesterday in the game to play up front, is she's got pace. So if the likes of Millie Bright or Alex Greenwood will get exposed, then you've got Rachel Daly will be the last person in terms of anything that comes through from a final third with the Americans, where they might have the ball in dangerous areas. So what an opening 5-10 minutes. It was incredible. But England get the goal to go 1-0 up. Fabulous goal, actually. The build-up play was really, really good. I think it came from build-up at the back, very patient build-up, beating America's press, which England did well at times. Lucy Bronze bombs down the right. There's a bit of movement between, I think it was Stanway, Lucy Bronze, and Beth Mead, who actually got the crossing. But yeah, USA will look at it and think, we could have defended better. The goalkeeper is a very experienced goalkeeper. Probably might have thought she should have done better. But listen, Lauren Hemp was playing in that central area and puts England 1-0 up in about, I think it was 9-10 minutes. But yeah, a great game of football. And America, they do the transition is like, wow. And this is a team where, like I said, we're not seeing them at full strength yesterday when they played that friendly at Wembley. Like I said, Trinity Gordon and Sophia Smith and the two girls in midfield, is it Horan and Sullivan and Lavelle? They was very, 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 very competitive, very athletic, didn't give England a sniff. And actually, if you look at the American goal, listen, I've had this conversation, and I'm sure many content creators have this conversation when we talk about playing out from the back, for example. And there's always a time for me where you don't do it. And I know Georgia Stanway lost the ball. I know she did, but that for me was a hospital pass from Millie Bright into her. I don't care how good you are as a footballer with your back to play. When you're put in that position, 20 yards away from your own, 20, 25 yards away from your own goal. And you've got two of the midfield players on you in terms of, I think it was Sullivan, or it might have been Haran that actually made the actual, made Stanway lose the ball, and Sophia Smith has taken it. Good touch, fantastic finish, and it's 1-1, and it's game on. Absolutely game on. And from then, I will say, looking at the sort of my notes I put down, yeah, I think England, for me, when I was watching it, I don't know what people's thoughts. Drop them in the comments down below when you do watch this live, or you watch it back on the rerun. England in the middle third of the pitch, there was too many times when it was a little bit too, as much as it was a fantastic game as a spectacle, it was a little bit too frantic. It needed someone to get a grip, and England were very sloppy in possession. And I actually think both teams in the second half gave the ball away a lot. Hence the reason why I think it contributed to the game being end to end. But I think that's something England will have to sort of look at, and I'm sure Serena Wiegman will do. Listen, you're playing the best team ranked #1 in the world. They're not going to give you time to settle on the ball. They're absolutely not. But so we get the VAR decision to give England a penalty with the foul on Lucy Bronze, and Georgia Stanway sticks it away. I think she'd be delighted, obviously, because she probably would have had a bit of a word with herself in terms of the goal for USA to go 1-1, and stuck away the penalty quite brilliantly, actually. And actually, Georgia Stanway had, for me, yes, it was a team game, but I will talk and pick out some individuals in particular. But yeah, a fabulous penalty put away. England go 2-1 up in the 32nd minute, I believe it was, and 5 minutes after the game going back to 1-1. So England came back very, very well. England were a bit fortunate with the VAR decision, with the disallowed goal for USA. It was a great move. They absolutely carved England open, and a great finish from Trinity Rodman. And I've got to be honest, at the time when I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, I don't know where the infringement was. And then when it came to it, in terms of why they disallowed the goal, I thought, you got to be having a laugh, man. If that's offside, we've got a serious problem, man. But yeah, I think as a spectacle, it's a shame. But for England, listen, they'll take the luck when you need it, when you're playing against these top sides. But yeah, what a fantastic advert for football, man. And England, for me, and it breeds from them winning the Euros. There's an aura, and there's a confidence and a belief about them, and that 100% comes from winning mentality. Sorry, tongue twisted. They went toe-to-toe with the United States. And I don't think in years gone by, because England's record against the United States isn't great. I think they've won 3 out of the last 11 meetings. And the last win before yesterday for England was in the She Believes Cup in 2017, under Phil Neville's stewardship. So I think this was a different England side. And I think the Americans probably knew that. And they saw that. And you know what? Despite there being times when England got carved open and USA applied a lot of pressure, England throughout moments of the game were absolutely fantastic. They really did split the United States of America open from a defensive point of view. I thought they was excellent, absolutely excellent. Let me go a picture. I'm gonna get some stats actually of the game. She is in Serena we trust. So I was actually, I'll be honest, when I watched the game and I finished watching it and I looked at sort of possession stats and shots on target, I was surprised to see England have 69% possession. So it's amazing what you see with your own set of 2 eyes and what you see in terms of black and white, layman's terms, possession stats. So when I saw England 69% possession, that's highly, highly impressive. To United States 31%. England 11 shots, America 10 shots on target, England 4, United States 2, England 2 corners, United States 6, England 10 fouls, United States 5 fouls. So yeah, I was quite surprised by that, to be honest with you. But like I said, give England where credit's due, despite, you need a bit of luck. Like I said, we had the VAR decision, But there were moments in that game where England really played some really, really good stuff, man. And the squad depth for this England squad is exceptional. Love Ella Toone, brought her on as well. She always makes a difference when she comes on. I thought Millie Bright stuck to her guns, particularly in the second half under a lot of pressure. Lucy Bronze was magnificent. I'm going to get a heat map up actually on the screen, audio listeners, when you do listen to this. A heat map. She was, you know what it is? I think we talk about Lucy Bronze in what she gives offensively. Definitely during the Euros, there were some games in terms of a defensive point of view. She was outstanding. And she's experienced. She gives England a lot going forward. And I thought she was excellent. And I think when I checked on the Twitter feed, actually, the player of the match for England, the 4 nominees were Lauren Hemp, Georgia Stanway, Kira Walsh, and Lucy Bronze. I don't think the votes actually come in yet for in terms of who got player of the match. Why I think it's the E thing on Twitter, I believe it is. But I actually voted for Lucy Bronze. I thought she was exceptional. But also that's a heat map of Lucy Bronze, and I've also got the touch map for Georgia Stanway as well. What a combative midfield player she really, really is. I'll be honest, during the Euros and seeing Georgia Stanway play in the WSL, sometimes I thought she was a little bit rash in terms of discipline. I was a little bit concerned, but what I saw in the Euros and looking at the touch map yesterday, which is on screen now, fantastic display. Very good athleticism. Has a goal in her. Great runs breaking the lines, which she's very, very good at. So again, another standout performance from her. I thought she was fantastic. And yeah, what a game of football between the two heavyweights. And I think with England, what people got to bear in mind as well, for again, like I do like a stat. I did see that sort of England, 23 games unbeaten, 15 wins in a row. As I mentioned, haven't beat United States since the 2017 She Believes Cup. USA were actually on a very good run as well. They'd won 18 of their last 21 matches with 3 draws, and England put a stop to that. And I think I put in the title, England lay down the marker, and they have. There's things that, of course, listen, the World Cup is 10 months away. It's a long time away still. A lot can happen. But England are in a very, very good place, not just because they're European champions, but the football they're playing. And they were brave yesterday. The Americans are a fantastic side. Like I said, back-to-back World Cup winners. And England took it to them. They showed belief. They showed confidence. They went toe-to-toe in front of an amazing crowd. I think the attendance was 76,893. That's fabulous. That's what you want. You want it to become, as a viewer of football, you want it to become the norm for women's football domestically, and obviously for these big games internationally, where the crowds that you get in are absolutely amazing. A fantastic game of football. And one thing else I wanted to get up as well. Now, you guys, you might be aware of Brandy Chastain's a very famous name in American football history, and there was an iconic moment in the World Cup in 1999 when she scored a decisive penalty when they beat China USA. And there's a famous thing of when she took her top off and was thrown around her shirt, and lo and behold, many years later, England win Euro final at Wembley. Chloe Kelly scores a winning goal. And remember the celebrations of Chloe Kelly. And that was a fantastic moment, actually. I wasn't aware this happened at the ground, but Brandy Chastain was at the ground and obviously met Chloe Kelly. They swapped shirts and signed shirts, and a really iconic picture. I think it goes to show, really, in terms of not just iconic moments, but recreating iconic moments and how far forward the women's game is for something that happened back in 1999 to be replicated in 2022. Great moment. But people, what a game of football, man. Absolutely fantastic. But listen, as you guys know, man, I like my international football, and like I said, that was a massive, massive statement win for England yesterday, Lionesses. So people, listen, I've chatted enough as it is already. Like I said, smash the like button, subscribe to Albert JTV. There was one more thing I want to say. I'm going to come to it in a minute. But yeah, listen, for those of you that are sort of new to women's football, whether it be domestically or internationally, hopefully the game you saw yesterday has whetted your appetite to go either watch more football in live football or to watch women's football more in general, because that was a fantastic advert yesterday with two heavyweight footballing teams. And England should be very, very proud of themselves. They were brave, they were gritty, they stayed in the game, and they were dangerous. And actually, I'll be honest with you, watching the England men's team over a number of years, not just recently with Gareth Southgate, I've seen many, many tournament football of England. I've seen many, many high-profile games of football with the England men's team. And I would like to see them a little bit more brave, as what I've seen with the England Lionesses, not just with the game yesterday, but in some of the games I've seen, particularly under Serena Wiegman. And England are going in the right direction. Like I said, if you look at the She Believes Cup back in February this year, it was England played Canada, Olympic champions, I believe. If I got that right, correct me if I'm wrong. They played Germany, they played Spain, three top-level nations. In the Euros, they took care of the likes of two massive Scandinavian teams in Norway and Sweden. They beat a very good Spanish side in the quarterfinals. Like I said, destroyed Sweden in the semi-finals and beat England and beat Germany, sorry, in a final. And again, and you know, fast forward to the game yesterday, they beat United States of America. So these are big, big fillets for England to take forward going forward for the next 10 months. I'm very excited to see the development even more of this team. And yeah, listen, watch out for 10 months' time, man. But people, I want to say one more thing before I go. Thank you for those that did tune in, because you're probably too busy on a Saturday afternoon to be watching me talk anyway. But I wasn't actually aware of this until about 20 minutes before my live stream. And yeah, so people started my YouTube channel in June 9th, 2020, to be precise. And yeah, apparently I hit over 30,000 views on the channel, which hit the mark on the 5th of October during this early week. I'm blown away, man. I'll be totally honest with you. I didn't expect it. I went into this over 2 years ago, not really sure where it would go. I like to talk, as many people will vouch for outside the YouTube world, that in YouTube world. But yeah, I listen, two simple words in life, and they mean a lot. And it's I'm blessed, and thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I always say this to people, they kindly say to me, they can't believe I haven't got more subscribers and more watch time. And I said, the thing is, you know what it is? I take them words, and I thank people for saying those kind words, but there's a hell of a lot of YouTube content out there. There's a lot to consume. It's not easy to keep track of everybody's content out there. It isn't. Even some of the big YouTuber guys I get on well with, and some of the smaller YouTuber guys that collab with me, and you know, it's finding the time. It's people's time to watch your content. They don't have to. So to hit over 30,000 views on my channel is pretty mind blowing. I've got to be honest, I was quite surprised that it came out. I didn't actually really notice it. So yeah, as I said, man, the journey continues. I'm going to keep striving, getting more guests on, reaching out to people, collaboration times, more solos, more live live match reactions, which I've started doing this season, which I've really, really enjoyed. Big ups to RJ for the other night for joining me for the game after Arsenal beat Bodo Glimt. So yeah, onwards and upwards with the channel, man. Listen, looking to grow it even more. And like I said, people's time means more than anything. So people subscribe to the channel, like I said, and yeah, we see where it goes. And yeah, I will try and incorporate more of the women's football, whether it be WSL and probably more likely international football, because it's just my thing. I've grown up watching it. Like I said, my time goes back to likes of Hope Powell when she was playing, Marion Spacey, Katie Chapman, Farrah Williams when she first started her career. There's many names I can think of. Alex Scott, you know, of course, Leon Sanderson. It's so many people, man. But people, we've come to the end of the show. It's been amazing to do the match review for this game. England, it's been a pleasure to watch the Lionesses in the last, I would say, 5 years, particularly obviously with Serena Wiegman, who came with a winning mentality, won the Euros with the Dutch national side, and has obviously done the same replicated it with England. We've got a fantastic win over the United States of America, who are a juggernaut of a football team. Like I said, back-to-back World Cup winners. But England done the business yesterday, man, and they're here to stay. And long may it continue. So people, like I said, your host, Albert JTV, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. And yes, get them algorithms up, people. So this is Albert JTV, over and out. See you soon for a match review of Arsenal versus Liverpool.